Which one are we doing? All right, so we're going to do lesson 5.2 for the clinical educational technology artifact. So I had to look at, like, what do I use for technology in the classroom? What's available? And actually, in module 4, I also had to do this whole thing on AI and technology. And there's some really good pages out there that break it down, because those things are out there, but one of the biggest issues, and you know as well as I do, it's a lack of time. And so the technology building, I know we use boom cards, but I have gone in and I'm like,
it's very confusing.
It's super confusing. I think it has a lot of value in the classroom, but I'm not quite there yet, because I would really love, one, you had mentioned, because one of the questions I am going to ask you is, how do we effectively integrate technology? And we were discussing that it would be really nice if we had access to a speech therapist who came in on a consistent basis, and could really open up, if Knox County would open up some of those doors for us a little bit too,
PD hours for specific, like for AAC users.
They do PD hour for Canva, but Canva's like, no. So being open-minded about new technologies and teaching experiences, I love the idea of technology, but really you have to have the time. You have to have the time, you have to have the knowledge, and having Knox County be able to have somebody in IT who says, hey, these are some of the things that are out there. Would you like to experience those? Would be good. I do try to use some technology. One of my EAs asked me why I don't use computers in my classroom. It's not that I don't want to use computers in my classroom. It's that you have to set them up and they have to be an educational tool. And getting some of those things set up, like iReady or Amplify or whatever those things are that we can use, that's great, but it's not a tool that you give to a kid and they go with it.
You also have to be careful if a kid earns it, because then you get into that slippery slope of earn versus
and
utilizing
that's exactly. And then you also have to be careful if you have kids that, getting enraged by it. So I love the boom cards. I love that you can get some of that information, but again, you have to set up the classes, you have to set up those pieces. And I do think educationally in equity is that if I could use some more technology in my lessons, it would give some extra access. However, it's really time-based. It's being able to identify, because there's so many out there, like what can we use? And then I got access to the iPads, and one of them wasn't unlocked and the other one I can't sign into. So I can't even set them up.
Yeah.
And I've asked technology to come, and that hasn't been a thing. So one of my SMART goals was to stay organized, continue practicing with technology tools, seek support, and ask questions if I need to continue to grow. And next year it would be really nice if I do have a EA who would be more willing to take some of those reins. And I don't mind learning, I just need that time. What have you done? I know you're back from the board maker group. So how are you expanding your technology?
That's one of my big things, is because I wish I was tech savvy, but I'm not. So I've had to really take a lot of time, but we don't have the time. But like you said, I have asked in the past. Our speech teacher, unfortunately, this year was not as helpful, but they've sat with me and helped come up with plans of how we're going to use the AAC device, how we're going to start it, how we're going to do this. But like you said, I wish Knox County would also do like a CDC programming specific professional development of what are maybe some teachers could come and we could do like a share group of how they use technology. Because I would love to know that, because there's all these different things, and there's stuff on the Promethean board that maybe I just need to sit and play around with, because I don't know.
I was thinking even for the DLM, not that you can take away that teaching, but you can target some of the pieces of those precursors just on boom cards, and boom cards will send you those things, but there's a lot of other educational things out there that we could use if we had one the time, but also the training to do it, so we're not trying to train ourselves. And you know, I've used my daughter for some of these things, but when
And being able to build your confidence is just sitting there and just like going, I have to practice it myself, and I have to model with the kids. And
my win though
Again,
was Hannah used to do my boom cards and change out the video every Monday, and I learned how to change the video
look at
in
you.
boom cards. Now, don't ask me how to build the other piece of answering the questions. I did, as long as the question was always the first one. I did figure that out, but I did change the background on each of my kids' things. I did figure out that, but you know, I do love those boom card things that Brenna has made for the ELA. I think it's nice to have it integrated, but the other big issue with technology is how many times have we been in this classroom, in this building, and there's no internet. And so you can't build all of your stuff
Around technology, because you never know if you're going to have it or not.
Well, and I mean, even this week, all of the computers got taken and stacked. And so our classroom, it wasn't a big deal, but I know that there were kids losing their mind all over the building because their computer got taken. And I'm like, oh, no matter in here. So, well, thank you.